So first of all, the technique would be same जो हमने क्लास में डिस्कस किया था, पहले भी जो हमने क्लास में डिस्कस किया हुआ है. टेक्निक like first of all you will have to read it thoroughly. In the starting, obviously I will take more time in reading. Later on, with the practice, you will be more efficient in reading part. And obviously, this reading has to be in English only because the paper is there in English only. Now, so case scenario number 2. In my booklet, this is on page number 91. Now, listen. Case scenario number 2 says, and please mind it, you will take time in reading. Here in this particular class, I will go a little bit slow. हम धीरे धीरे इसको पढ़ेंगे. We will go slow, but please gradually आपको efficiency लानी होगी इस reading के अंदर. Okay? Now, so PQR Limited is one of the leading companies in the cement manufacturing industry. Okay, right from its incorporation, it has been a subsidiary of GDP Limited. The total shareholding of GDP Limited includes the following: the Government of Pondicherry and Government of Delhi each hold 19% of paid up share capital. Okay, that means Government of Pondicherry that holds 19% plus Government of Delhi that holds 19%. So together they are holding 38%. And then Government of Gujarat's share is 13.5%. Now please tell me, so when we are combining them together, so all the governments combining together, it comes out to, you please tell me, it comes out to 51.5%. That means this GDP, that means GDP Limited is a government company, and hence its subsidiary is PQR Limited. So PQR Limited is also a government company. I hope this is quite okay. We have done it in company audit chapter, right? Okay, cool. Now, so, and the client under question is PQR Limited. So PQR Limited happens to be a subsidiary company of government company, and hence all the provisions which are applicable to a government company would be applicable to PQR Limited as well. Clear? Okay. Now, on 27th August 2020, Mr. JJ, the auditor of PQR Limited, had resigned from his post. Okay, citing personal reasons. He had forgotten to inform about his resignation to the concerned authorities. This is wrong. Under section 140 subsection 2 and subsection 3, whenever you resign, you need to inform the company and ROC. And in the case it is a government company, there is requirement to inform Comptroller and Auditor General also. Okay, let's see. The casual vacancy which was created by the outgoing auditor was filled up with appointment of FDI and company chartered accountants as a statutory auditor. Okay. However, few shareholders of the company raised certain objections, which was later settled without any problem. Okay, few shareholders actually complained about certain things. Okay, as a part of the terms and conditions of appointment as auditor, FTI and company agreed to do the following. Okay, that means incoming auditor has agreed to do the following: charge fees at 5% of paid up capital. I love, oh my god. No. Can a statutory auditor charge fees on percentage basis? No. If I can remember, so in clause 10 of part 1 of first schedule to the Chartered Accountants Act, charging a fee on percentage basis is prohibited except in the permissible cases. But this is a government company, so obviously you cannot charge a percentage based fee. Plus 0.1% of net profit of the company. Oh god, this is wrong. However, Mr. JJ means this person who has resigned, agreed to charge only rupees 45,000. Okay, so Mr. JJ's fees was 45,000 rupees, right? And this FDI and company agreed to select and recruit personnel, conduct training programs for and on behalf of PQR Limited. Select and recruit personnel, conduct training programs for and on behalf of, okay, so this comes in section 2, subsection 2, management consultancy services. Okay, the company was having an annual turnover of 510 crore and hence it was also liable to tax audit under section 44 AB. During the current financial year 2021, PQR Limited had changed its method of accounting compared to the previous financial year. Oh my god. So first of all, they have told us something about the company audit chapter, then gradually they moved to something related to professional ethics, then now they are discussing about tax audit. Okay, cool. And had reported a closing stock of raw material amounting to 2 lakh only as on the last date. Okay, as on the balance sheet date. Also, the company had borrowed a sum of 10 crores equally from 2 public sector banks and 2 non-banking financial companies. Okay. It had also repaid few deposits amounting to rupees 75 lakhs to the deposit holders through electronic mode. But electronic mode is okay. I mean, you can repay either by account pay checks, demand drafts, or like, electronic mode. That is okay. As far as FDI and company chartered accountants are concerned, Mr. F, who is one of the partners of the firm, note, Mr. F does not sign the financials of PQR Limited. Okay, had borrowed, but that doesn't make any sense. If you are a partner, had borrowed a sum of 3.89 lakhs from GDP Limited. He had also purchased goods worth rupees 1.09 lakhs from the company, which was an ordinary course of business at arm's length price. Okay, but please tell me what is the total 3.89 lakhs plus. He had also purchased goods 1.09 lakhs. So the total comes out to 4.98. But you tell me it's not exceeding 5 lakh rupees, na? So his indebtedness, total indebtedness, one indebtedness, because he has borrowed the amount from the company from GDP Limited. Okay, that means from the holding, and he has also purchased goods. Okay, 1.09. Right. So this is like indebtedness is within the limit. That is okay. Both the sum borrowed and the cost of goods bought are not yet paid. But that is okay. His indebtedness is within the limits because the limit is of 5 lakh rupees under section 141 subsection 3 clause D. Right? Okay. Another partner of the firm, Mr. I, who is also responsible for signing the financial statement, was also engaged in the teaching profession during his free time. So, we can assume that for his teaching profession during his free time, he has obtained either the permission, or if it is a private tutorship, there is no bar. Okay, upon hearing about the efficient services provided by FDI and company, they were approached by XYZ Cooperative. Cooperative Society to act as their statutory auditor. The firm agreed to the offer and had the following options in mind: to charge fee as percentage of net profit. Cooperative Society, valuer and receiver, liquidator, fundraising services, cost optimization. Yes, in all these points, in all these services, a chartered accountant can charge fee on percentage basis under clause number 8. No, not 8, under clause number 10. Yes, under clause number 10, because 8 is regarding communication. Right? So, under clause number 10 of part 1 of first schedule to the Chartered Accountants Act. Okay. Or to charge fees only 101. Okay. So, as far as cooperative society is concerned, you can charge either a lump sum amount or percentage basis. Done. Okay. So many facts. Now, to whom Mr. JJ informed about his resignation? What could be the possible consequence for his non-compliance? Okay, so Mr. JJ has resigned This is a case of government company. He should have informed the registrar and PQR Limited as a consequence. First of all, in the case of government company C and AG, information to Comptroller Auditor General of India is a must. So here there is no CAG, cross. Here there is no CA. Okay, here there is CAG, but CAG alone, then cross. Okay. Cross, cross, cross. He should have informed the registrar and FDI and company as a consequence. Why FDI and company? No, cross. Then it says he should have informed the registrar, yes, and comptroller and auditor general also. As a consequence of his failure, he is liable to a fine of 45,000. Now listen carefully. Which is the fee? Under section 140 subsection 2 and 3, when the auditor resigns, you remember, so the fine is 50,000. That is, the fine is 50,000 or his fee, whichever is less. So obviously his fees is less, so obviously this is the right option. Comptroller Auditor General of India is a must. All right, because it happens to be a government company. Okay, next, with respect to the acts carried out by Mr. F, the partner of audit firm, what can you infer about the appointment of FDI and company as auditors of PQR Limited? It is valid since the indebtedness is within prescribed limit. I think this is right, but still, to avoid any confusion, let's just, read the other ones. और अगर वो applicable नहीं है तो उसको हम cross भी कर देंगे, है ना, so that we can be more sure that yes, A is the right option. It is not valid since the indebtedness exceeds the prescribed limit. No. Indebtedness limit is 5 lakh rupees. It is valid since Mr. F is not signing the financials. No. It doesn't matter whether the partner is signing or partner is not signing. If any partner is indebted, then obviously the firm would be like, disqualified. But indebtedness exceeding the prescribed limit. It is valid since the indebtedness is not with PQR Limited. No. Even if the indebtedness is towards a holding company, holding, subsidiary, associates, co-subsidiary, right, cash companies, then in that case, the firm shall be disqualified. So basically, it is valid since the indebtedness is within prescribed limit only. Nothing else. Good. Okay. Now, 2.3. Which among the below are permitted? So they are asking which is permitted, for which the chartered accountant won't be guilty. Charge fees at 5% of paid up capital plus 0.1% of net profit of the company. No, this is not valid. So now listen carefully. Because one is not permitted, so obviously option number A and obviously option number D, they are crossed. Why? Why they are crossed? Because we know that first is not permitted. You cannot charge a fee on percentage basis. You cannot charge a fee unless permitted. So in this case, it is not permitted. Okay. So obviously, because first is not permitted, so because here first is coming and here first is coming, तो ये दोनों option आपने cross कर दिए. Select and recruit personnel, conduct training program for and on behalf of PQR Limited. And Mr. I, one of the partner who is responsible to sign the financial, was also into teaching profession. Now, please listen carefully. See, select and recruit personnel, conduct training program. That is permissible as per Chartered Accountants Act. As per Chartered Accountants Act. Okay. So, okay, because second is permissible. Okay, so second is permissible and second is here only. Second is permissible under section 2, subsection 2, right? It comes under MCS, Management Consultancy. And Mr. I, one of the partner who is responsible to sign the financials, was also into teaching profession. Okay, assuming into teaching profession, like it is generally permissible if the teaching hours are like within 25 hours in a week. That is the correct option. So obviously this is wrong because second is right. Second option is right. Okay. With respect to the fee to be charged with respect to new assignment. Now new assignment is with respect to cooperative society. Which option can be opted by FDI and company? To charge fees as percentage. Yes, that is okay. To charge fee of 101. No problems, both are okay. So obviously he can opt for any, either one or two. I hope that is okay, because for cooperative societies he can charge fee on percentage basis also. Among the below transactions which were undertaken by PQR, which needs to be reported by the auditor under fiscal laws. Okay, that means they are asking about Form 3CD. So for Form 3CD, 10 crore loan taking which is exceeding the limit is specified under section 269 SS. But no, it's not the cash loan, plus moreover it has been obtained from banks, etc. So 269 SS is not applicable in this case. That is basically about the cash loans. And changed its methods of accounting from the previous financial year. Yes, 100% sure. If there is any change in method of accounting, that has to be reported under Form 3CD. Okay, repayment of deposit of 75 lakh which is exceeding the limit. But no, because it is by electronic mode, so that is okay. Okay, and so second is sure, and reporting of closing stock. Yes, that is to be reported. How much closing stock has been there at the balance sheet date. So obviously, because it is through electronic mode, no. It is from banks, no. So what are the options available? Second and fourth. So now let's see whether there are options second and fourth. Yes, so second and fourth. Or you could have eliminated also. See, listen carefully. Like, you know that first won't be there. So first won't be there, first won't be there, first won't be there. So obviously these are like crossed. Okay? Okay. So even answers are here also. See, आज हम केवल कुछ case scenarios कर रहे हैं. I'm taking a few case scenarios today. Few of them you can try at your own, because in any case answers are given. Okay, so now we have done one case scenario in which there was a question on company audit, then there was a question on tax audit, there were questions on professional ethics. I hope that is quite okay. Okay, now coming to the other one, let me check. I think I have marked the case scenario number 6th. I have picked up few case scenarios in which I found that okay, this is the good one. 6th one. Sarvodaya Limited is a public company engaged in the business of manufacture of tires. Okay. And it is a public company. The company has turnover of 300 crores during the financial year 1920. Messrs. Sita, Geeta and Associates have been appointed as a statutory auditor for the financial year 1920. To be very frank, I don't like this line. To be very frank. But still that is okay. Ma'am, why don't you like this line? See, in the Companies Act nowadays, if it happens to be a public company, so normally appointment is to be made for 5 years. So this line is actually not apt, that he have been appointed as statutory auditor for the financial year. That's okay. Assuming that she has been, the Sita, Geeta and Associates have been, resume has been in the office of auditor since long, and this is the year when they are auditor as well. The audit firm has also been tax auditor of the company since the financial year 17-18 and continues to be the tax auditor for the financial year 19-20. Okay, so it is a statutory auditor as well as tax auditor. During the course of audit, Messrs. Sita, Geeta and Associates received a notice from the company regarding general meeting to be held. Okay, to discuss the prospective merger and acquisition, the engagement partner CA Sita decided not to attend the same by herself and to send CA Rohan, another partner working with her in the firm, having COP and recently joined the firm, to attend the same as her authorized representative. That is okay. I mean, you have right to receive. We have done it very well in company audit chapter. You have right to receive the notice of general meeting and you have duty to attend meeting, you can either attend by yourself, auditor himself, or by authorized representative, okay, who is not disqualified. Also, she understood that there is no obligation as such on them to attend such meeting, though they have right to receive such notice. Oh, hello, this is wrong. There is duty to attend general meeting, there is right to receive the notice and duty to attend general meeting. We have made a proper note of it. It is very well given in the chapter in the book also. In my book, in chapter number 5, this is written properly. Further, that this is right and this is duty. Further, the auditor came across a fraud whereby an accounts officer of Sarvodaya Limited has made unauthorized payments amounting to rupees 0.80 crore. 0.80 crore, okay, less than 1 crore, using bogus checks. The auditor understands that as per company audit rules, since fraud amount doesn't exceed 1 crore, the reporting is not to be done to central government and only the company is bound to disclose. Only the company is bound to disclose such fraud in board report. But hello, listen, even if the amount is less, you need to report it to either board of director or audit committee if audit committee has been constituted within 2 days of your knowledge. We have made a flow chart in the class, right? Okay. Further, during the financial year 17-18, Sarvodaya Limited acquired 5 companies, out of which 2 companies were foreign companies. Okay, Sarvodaya Limited made consolidated financial statement. Oh my God. So this question is coming from audit of consolidated financial statements, right? Including the 3 Indian companies, while the 2 foreign companies were not consolidated mistakenly. This is wrong. If it is a foreign company, if it is the foreign company that Sarvodaya Limited had acquired, तो इसको भी तो consolidate करना था. They must have consolidated it also. So this is wrong. The management of Sarvodaya Limited decided to voluntarily revise its accounts of 17-18 and subsequent year. Now listen, voluntary revision comes under section 131. We have done it under section 131. In the book, there is a flow chart. Okay, that last 3 years, they can revise, and in that case, tribunal and then file with ROC also. Okay, and then in AGM also. Okay, subsequent year discussed. Also, when the statutory audit was going on, Sarvodaya Limited started the process to declare, oh my God, audit of dividend also. Interim dividend. So, interim dividend is treated at par with final dividend. You people used to say that, ma'am, dividend kare ya nahi kare. Oh my God, interim dividend. You know, these dividend related things are very much in syllabus. These things you are habitual of doing in your accounts also, accounts and law also. Okay, so to declare interim dividend for the financial year out of the profits of the same year. Okay, so interim dividend is treated at par with same as final dividend. Okay. However, the company did not transfer any profits to the reserve for the financial year. That is okay. Now, transfer to reserve is not mandatory. If the company wants, they can transfer to reserve. If they don't want, that is absolutely okay. If they are distributing, if they are declaring the dividend out of current profits. Okay, this is not correct as per auditor. Why? Okay, let's see. Further, the management of Sarvodaya Limited did not intend to transfer the amount of dividends so declared to a separate bank account. This is wrong. Whenever they want to declare the interim dividend, they need to keep the amount separately in a separate bank account as they have declared interim dividend, and according to them, such transfer is required in the case of final dividend only. No. Interim dividend is treated as final dividend. All the rules which are applicable on declaration of final dividend are also applicable to interim dividend as well. Okay. During the course of audit, the auditor found out the company has not made provision for tax. Oh God. Such a blunder. They have not made any provision for tax. Okay, let's see. Even though such liability was anticipated at the time of finalizing accounts, so this is wrong. Okay, when the auditor discussed the same with the management, they were told that since the company has declared dividend out of current year profit, the company has not made provision for tax. This is totally wrong. Please. There is no excuse, and the same will be duly paid at the time of return filing. But if they are not providing for, so obviously this has a material effect. This is misstatement. So this is misstatement. आप बताओ, आपके माइंड में ये बातें आ रही हैं? Are you able to think from this point of view? You should be now. Okay. During the month of August, the company had sold tires to two-wheeler manufacturer, namely Super X Limited, valuing 10 lakhs at arm's length price. Okay. MDS Bank has given guarantee to Sarvodaya Limited for Super X Limited. The branch manager of MDS Bank is Mr. Shyam, son of CA Sita. But listen, Mr. Shyam is only the branch manager. So branch manager can be anyone. Anyways, the chartered accountant's relative himself is not, providing any guarantee, etc. to the company. Okay, whatever. This may attract disqualification as a statutory auditor for the next financial year. Why this can? The bank stood as a guarantor, not the relative himself. अब ऐसे तो बैंक में कोई भी अगर जॉब कर रहा होगा तो बैंक उसका थोड़े ना हो गया. The bank is not owned by the employee. Okay, now based on above facts, answer the following one by one. Whether the understanding of CA Sita regarding their rights and duty to attend general meeting is correct? Not correct. Further, is she correct in not attending the general meeting by herself and sending CA Rohan to attend the general meeting? I think that is okay. Because it is clearly written that they can attend the general meeting either by himself, the chartered accountant, that means auditor, either by himself or by any other authorized representative, जिसका CA होना जरूरी है. Now, Miss Sita is correct as the auditor have the right to receive notice. However, they are not under any obligation to compulsory attend. This is wrong. Okay. Miss Sita is not correct as auditor have a right to receive notice of every general meeting. Also, it is their duty to attend such meeting. This is okay. Further, she is not correct in sending CA Rohan. No, she is correct. He happens to be authorized representative. Miss Sita is not correct as though the auditors have a right to receive notice of every general meeting. They also have a duty to attend the meeting. But she is correct in sending Mr. Rohan as her authorized representative. Abhi tak, this option appears to be apt. Miss Sita is correct as the auditor have a right to receive notice. However, they are not under any obligation to attend such meeting. Wrong. Further, she is not correct in sending. Wrong. So, C option is apt option. Okay. With respect to the fraud committed by the accounts officer, is there any reporting requirement apart from the disclosure? Yes. We have made a flow chart regarding this in the classes as well. If the amount is less than that, then it is the auditor's duty to report such frauds to board of directors or audit committee within 2 days of their knowledge. You remember that thing? So they should report the fraud to board of director and central government. No central government, because it is within the limit. Messrs. Sita Kita and Associates should report the fraud to the audit committee or board of director within 2 days of their knowledge. Yes. They should report the fraud to audit committee within 2 days and report such fraud to central government. Central government is their cross. They should report the fraud to audit committee and central government. No. Why? Because the amount is less than the limit. Okay, less than the threshold limit. So there is no reporting to central government. Now, 6.3. What should CA Sita advise the management? Are you able to notice that there are different MCQs? They have written this one case. Okay. These kind of things we have already done during our classes as well. And now they are picking up MCQs, one from one chapter, one from one chapter, one from one chapter. What should CA Sita advise the management regarding the voluntary revision? So when they are saying about voluntary revision, one section that came to my mind is section 131. We have done 131 and 132, right? Okay. related to financial year and subsequent year. The management can revise the financial statements after obtaining approval of tribunal. Yes, there is a proper flow chart in the book. Tribunal is there, order, and the order passed by tribunal shall be filed with registrar. Yes, so listen carefully. If that particular flow chart is clear in your mind, I don't think there can be any kind of problems. Okay, the management of Sarvodaya Limited cannot revise. So this is wrong. They can revise under section 131. The management of Sarvodaya Limited can revise the financial statement after obtaining the approval from MCA. No. It's tribunal. The management of Sarvodaya Limited cannot revise a financial statement but can revise a financial statement pertaining to. No. Last 3 years tak they people can revise. So this is wrong. So the apt option is this. This is exactly what is written in the section. This is exactly what is written in the book. Okay. Now next, with respect to revision of the financial statement in subsequent year, can Messrs. Sita Geeta and Associate revise a corresponding tax audit report? Yes. So revision of tax audit report can be done if there has been revision of accounts also. So that is one valid reason of revising tax audit report, because if the accounts have undergone a revision, अगर accounts या financial statements को revise किया है तो कुछ figures revise हुई होंगी और उनकी वजह से जो corresponding figures इन लोगों ने फॉर्म 3CD में दी हुई होंगी उनको भी रिवाइज करना इज कंपल्सरी. Okay, so they cannot revise. This is wrong. Cannot revise. This is wrong. Can revise the tax audit reports. The accounts are revised by the company, and they should specify the reason. So this is 6.4. They should specify the reason for such revision with the reference to earlier report. Yes, at their own discretion. No. At their own discretion, no. So this is the valid reason. This is the valid reason because the financial statement, because the accounts have been revised, and hence. Okay. So many MCQs are there. 6.5. Is management of Sarvodaya Limited correct in not transferring any percentage of profit to the reserve before it declares the interim dividend? Right. Because now see, it has been years ago, बहुत साल पहले हमारे टाइम में ऐसा होता था that the company was required to mandatorily transfer a certain percentage to reserves. However, this requirement is not there anymore since years. The management is correct in not transferring any percentage. As such, transfer to reserve is optional. Yes, it is optional for final dividend. Is it optional for interim dividend? Because now interim dividend is treated at par with final dividend. The management is correct in not transferring. As such, transfer is required in case of declaration of final dividend. No, this is wrong because both are equally treated in eyes of law. Interim as well as final. The management is correct in not transferring any percentage as the company is declared out of current. The management is correct in not transferring any percentage as the company has declared the dividend out of. Is correct in not transferring. So this is basically, but this is more, correct. Okay, this is the best option. Is correct in not transferring. Asset transfer is optional. So here also transfer is optional out of current profit or whatever, that is a different thing. The management is not correct. So not correct is wrong. So it is 6.5A. 6.6. Is the contention of management correct in not transferring the amount declared to the separate bank account? This is wrong. It is clearly written in law. We have done it. It is given in book also. In the book, there is a chapter named dividend. In the study material, all the rules regarding dividend are there in the study material named the chapter on company audit. हमने study material में भी ये चीज देखी है कि dividend के rules company audit वाले chapter में study material में दिया. मैंने बुक में अलग से चैप्टर में दिए हुए हैं डिविडेंड के. तो वहां पर क्या है, लाइक विद इन 5 days. ओके, टू सेपरेट बैंक अकाउंट. ओ दिस इज रॉन्ग. फाइनल डिविडेंड, इंटरिम डिविडेंड ट्रीटेड एट पार. Correct has an option. No, it is compulsory to transfer to in case of declaration of final dividend as well as within 7 days. No, not 7 days. Now it is really important for you people. You have to remember, you have to recall this particular thing. So in any case, if you are not recalling this thing, then you can commit mistake in option C and D, because there is difference of days. So the apt limit is obviously 5 days. Okay. 6.7. With respect to non-provision of income tax liability, what course of action that auditor follow? This is a misstatement. Okay, they should qualify. Abhi tak to I think this is apt option. They should qualify the audit report as non-provision of anticipated income tax liability hampers the true and fair view. I think this is right, but still, I need to read all the options. हो सकता है उनमें से कोई better हो. Okay, so auditor should give an unqualified report. This is wrong. Leave it. No need to read it further. They should have given an unqualified report. Oh my God, this is wrong. They should qualify the audit report as such non-provision of anticipated liability leads to overstatement of current liabilities. What? When they are not making provision, this is understatement of liabilities, not overstatement. So this is wrong. So obviously the correct option is this, because this is misstatement, this is a material misstatement, then obviously as per SA 705, they should have expressed a modified opinion. Right? Qualified in this case. 6.8. Oh my God, so many MCQs. Okay, I think these kind of case scenarios can be there for like 15 marks. Okay, can Massar, Sita Geeta and Associates be appointed as a statutory auditor for the next financial year? Yes, they can be appointed for the next financial year. There are no harm. Now, see, I have my own reservations actually regarding this. You know what? This is not a government company. This is just a public company. They're not writing anything. They shouldn't use the word for the next financial year. I hope you are able to understand. Because in the case of the company, his appointment is made for 5 years. Okay, and there is nothing written जिससे कि हमें लगे that it is a government company and appointment is made by C&AG. So it is a public company manufacturing of tires. I think the better framing, see, मतलब मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हूँ, I'm not saying कि आप कोई इंस्टीट्यूट को चिट्ठी लिखो या इंस्टीट्यूट को आप मेल्स लिखो that this drafting is wrong, but seriously I think it's not apt. You know, इससे हमारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स बिगड़ जाएंगे अगर हम इस तरह के वर्डिंग्स को बहुत पढ़ेंगे तो. क्यों? क्योंकि for the next financial year तो appointment is made only for like government companies. Otherwise under section 139 subsection 1 appointment is made for 5 years. So actually in my opinion इनको लिखना चाहिए था for next 5 years like that or something like this. Okay, और या इनको ऐसा लिखना चाहिए था are they disqualified? Okay, so disqualified लिखते तो ज़्यादा better रहता. Anyways, we cannot comment beyond a certain limit. They cannot be appointed. This is wrong. They can be appointed as the statutory limited, but only CA Geeta can conduct. No. And they can be appointed for the next subject to approval of C&AG. Now, approval of C&AG. What is approval of C&AG? No, this is wrong. If the auditors are disqualified, in this case auditors are not disqualified, you see, because the guarantee has been done by the bank itself and the son of auditor happens to be only employee. Okay, now next they can be appointed. So we have done second, we have done sixth. Now we can do, listen carefully, I'm telling you, this seventh you can try at your own after doing your investigation and due diligence wala chapter. Okay, and eighth is very good again. Now listen, It says ABC Limited is a manufacturing company having 3 manufacturing facilities in India and ranked within top 500 listed companies. Oh my god, that means they are going to ask me on LODRs, listing obligation and disclosure requirements. On a stock exchange in India, company marked turnover of rupees itne crore and profit before tax this much crore during this. Company has not accepted any deposit from public since inception. Mr. A is the promoter. Okay, and CEO of the company, Mr. B, son of Mr. A. So Mr. B is son of promoter and CEO. Okay, and holds graduate degree from IIT Bombay and postgraduate degree from IIM Ahmedabad. Oh my god, I mean the topmost 2 degrees. Okay, in India, you can say ABC Limited already constituted audit committee, nomination and remuneration committee, stakeholders are SRC, risk management committee, in order to comply with LODR. Done. During oversight of financial reporting process and its disclosure by audit committee, the committee noted that company has disclosed, okay, contingent liability of rupees 200 crores on account of retrospective increase in wages of contract labor. Okay, majority of members of audit committee were of view that such retrospective increase in wage is certain and company is liable to pay the same in near future and therefore should be provided for rather than disclosing as a contingent liability. Accordingly, audit committee requested management to revisit current treatment of retrospective increase wage of contract laborers. Okay. All right. Further, report of internal auditor of one manufacturing facility was presented in audit committee meeting by the management. Okay. So audit committee overviews all these things. Internal auditor highlighted that current controls for vendor payment process are not adequate. That means there are weak internal control and this poses a risk of fraud. Audit committee members decided to appoint expert consultant to investigate or review internal financial control for vendor payment process. That's good. That means audit committee बहुत अच्छे से काम कर रही है. It is working in the right direction. Okay. SRC was responsible for looking into various aspects of interest of the shareholders, debenture holders and other security holders. यही काम है SRC का. This is the only work that they people do. These are the kind of works that they do. SRC authorized Mr. P, who is a company secretary, to deal with any queries. SRC last met on June 18 and has not met during this, as there was no communication. No, this is wrong. There should be at least one meeting annually of SRC. Let's see. On the basis of above mentioned facts, you are required to answer the following MCQs. Okay. Select best course of action to ensure compliance with section 177 in relation to establishing whistle mechanism when directors can report genuine concern. I'm very sure I have made a summary in the chapter LODR. We have done that summary as well. So in the case of listed entities, whistle mechanism should be there. Okay. So listen carefully. It says ABC Limited is a listed company. Therefore, it is required to establish whistle mechanism. Yeah, that's right. Whistle mechanism is applicable to government? No. Listed companies. As per section, it is not mandatory to establish whistle mechanism when directors and employees. Therefore, they may or may not. No, may or may not. Why? Listed company, other listed company will have to comply with the whistle mechanism. It is a listed company but have not accepted deposit. Doesn't make any difference. It is not required. This is wrong. Being a listed company, all the listed companies are required to establish whistle mechanism. See, listen carefully. Even in LODR also we have made a proper summary of this whistle mechanism. Okay, it's given in your book also at the end of the chapter. As on April 1, 2020, Board of Directors would like to appoint Mr. B as chairperson. Okay, you are requested to provide assistance to determine compliance with LODR. Hello, you are top 500 listed companies. The chairman has to be non-executive director, not related to. It's given in the book. We have studied it. We have made a summary of this also. You cannot be related to CEO. In the present case, Mr. B is related to CEO. He happens to be son of CEO. Remember? Okay. Mr. B is eligible. डिग्री से क्या फर्क पड़ता है. Mr. B is eligible as chairperson as he is non-executive. Mr. B is not eligible as he is non-executive. He is not eligible as he is relative. Yes. All right. Okay. So one from here. Now, they have not conducted any meeting of SRC and there were no disclosure. Company wants to know frequency of conducting meeting of SRC. We have done it very well in LODR. We have made it summary also. For SRC, it is compulsory, it is mandatorily required to meet at least once in the year. Okay. So, yes, they should meet at least once in a year. 4 times? No. No stakeholder concern, no non-compliance, all these are wrong, okay? So I think this is pretty okay, no problem should be there. Great. Now listen carefully. You can just try this GST audit thing. This 9th you can try yourself. So 9th is like a homework thing. I know you are well versed about the taxation thing even from your intermediate, plus in your finals also you people do these kind of stuffs, okay? And there is one class uploaded on our YouTube channel also regarding, you know, tax audits and GST audits, etc. You can very well do that. Now coming to 10th, this is excellent, superb actually. So 10th says Messrs A and Associate have been appointed as a statutory auditor of Delco. Okay, it is a listed company. Okay, during the course of audit, the auditor found out that the company has acquired 2 subsidiaries, Sole, dealing in manufacturing of shoe soles, and S, dealing in manufacture of kid shoes. The auditors are Messrs XYZ and Associates. Okay, and you are ANS and Associate. Okay, so you are like, so this is Delco Limited. So this is Delco Limited. For Delco Limited, auditor is ANS and Associates. Okay, and it has 2 subsidiaries. One is Sole and one is Soccer. And both auditors are XYZ and Associates. All right. So you are the company auditor and they are the subsidiaries auditor. Delco Limited has prepared the consolidated financial statements under Indian accounting standard. Now please mind it. When I was teaching you regarding this thing, when we were doing the consolidated financial statements, I have discussed all the requirements regarding accounting standard as well as Indian accounting standard very much in detail. Okay. All right, great. And consolidated financial and the statements of subsidiary Sole Limited. Okay. However, the company has not consolidated the financial statement of Soccer Limited, which was also acquired during the financial year, as the company has not yet been able to ascertain the fair value of certain material assets and liabilities as on the acquisition date. But this is wrong. You should have. Okay, the acquisition is accounted for as an investment in the books of Delco Limited. I mean, this is wrong. इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड में ऐसा कोई एग्जेम्पशन नहीं दिया हुआ है कि अगर आप एसरटेन नहीं कर पा रहे हो वैल्यूज को तो आप उसको कंसोलिडेट नहीं करोगे. You will have to consolidate, you know. There is no excuse that the company is not able to ascertain and hence it's not consolidating. Okay, had the company consolidated of both the subsidiary, there would have been material impact. 100% sure. अगर कंपनी ने कंसोलिडेट किया होता, if the company had consolidated both the financial statements, it could have impacted the financial statements of the company in material respects, right? At the time of finalization of audit report, the auditor are considering the reporting responsibilities for non-consolidation of Soccer Limited. Okay, the auditors also asked the management to disclose their reasons. What are the reasons for non-consolidation? Also, the financial statement of Delco Limited of current financial year included the corresponding figures. Okay, so when I am speaking about corresponding figure, SA 710 is there, corresponding figure like this, okay, of the previous financial year. Further, the auditors are also considering the implication of their responsibilities and management responsibilities with respect to the financial statements. Okay, cool. So primarily Indian accounting standards are applicable. One company, they are not consolidating. Then there are corresponding figures also, and non-consolidation is having material impact, obviously. Okay, with respect to the non-consolidation, how should auditor deal with the same? The auditor should give a disclaimer of opinion. So disclaimer of opinion goes when you are not able to obtain evidences. But here there is misstatement. Why? There is non-compliance with FRF. There is non-compliance with Indian accounting standard, you can say. Okay, so no disclaimer, there is no limitation. Actually, there is non-compliance. They should give an adverse opinion if the impact is material and pervasive. Till now, this appears to be right. They are not consolidating a whole company. You see, the impact could be material and pervasive, but still, they should mention this fact in the EOM. No, EOM is only अगर मैनेजमेंट ने कुछ ठीक किया है और आप बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए उस बात को कहीं लिखना चाहते हैं. इफ द मैनेजमेंट इज डिस्क्लोज समथिंग, द मैनेजमेंट इज राइट, द मैनेजमेंट इज कंप्लाइड विद FRF, you just want to bring it to the notice of the users of financial statement and audit report. No, this is not the case. This is clear-cut misstatement. This is clear-cut non-compliance. This is clear-cut non-compliance with FRF. Non-compliances with FRF के केस में नहीं जाता EOM. EOM is not there for non-compliances. The auditor should mention this fact in other matter. Why other matter? Other matter section is something which is not related to financial statements, right? But this is very much related to financial statements. So this is wrong. So obviously the correct option is B. I hope that is okay, because that is misstatement, non-compliance with FRF, SA 705. Great. 10.2. It says, with respect to the corresponding figures, what are the auditor's reporting responsibilities? Okay, corresponding figures. If you people can recall, listen, in SA 7010, we have made a flow chart at the end. Here they have a comparative financial statement. Here they have a corresponding figures. So corresponding figures which are integral part. There is no need to refer to corresponding figure until and unless there is some misstatement. You remember? Okay. The auditor opinion should refer to each period. No, each period is referred to in the case of comparative financial statements, not in respect of corresponding figure. As per SA 710, the auditor need to report on the current year financial only, be it comparative or corresponding. Wrong. Okay, this is totally opposite of 710. The auditor's opinion shall not refer to corresponding figure except if the previous or auditor report is other than unqualified, or the auditor has sufficient evidence that misstatement exists which was not addressed earlier. This is the exact line. And in the summary also we have made it. In the right side of the book, like you remember, जो समरी बनी है बुक में, उसमें जो ऐसे 710 की समरी है, उसके राइट साइड corresponding में this is the thing which is written, and same ways this is the statement which is written in the book. और हमने इसके बहुत एग्जाम्पल्स बनाए थे कि क्यों हम corresponding figure, because in India corresponding figures framework is there, जहाँ पे साथ साथ में last year figures are being shown. Okay, so this happens to be correct answer, like C part. Okay, the auditor has no reporting responsibility of any year other than the current for which. Wrong. So C is the correct option. SA 710. What is the reporting responsibility of auditor in case the prior period financial statements are not audited? Not audited, not audited, not audited. Okay. The auditor need to report such matter in the CAM. Okay, the auditor needs to report such matter in the other matter paragraph in his report. Yes, other matter, because in SA 710, if the last year audit was done by some other auditor, or the last year audit has not been done, such thing has to be reported in OM section of the report. We have done it. Moreover, regarding opening balances, SA 510, initial audit engagements, opening balances, that is applicable. We have done it quite at length. Okay, so it says both B and C. I think both B and C. Yes, because other matter paragraph in accordance with 710 and this 510 opening balances. So 10.3 is D, because this is C. I'm telling you the answer कि कौन सा ऐसे कंसिडर करके. अगर आप यहाँ पे 10.3 में देखोगे तो यहाँ पे ना 10.3 में ऐसे करके दिया होगा बोथ बी एंड सी, बट क्यों है, व्हाई इट इज सो, दैट इज द रीजन कि मैं आज आपको ये एमसीक्यूज जो केस सिनेरियो में आते हैं ये करा रही हूं. व्हाई एग्जैक्टली, व्हाई, क्यों, है ना. तभी तो सम ऑफ देम यू कैन ट्राई एट योर ओन एज होमवर्क ऑल्सो. ओके, now 10.4, preparing the financial statements in accordance with the applicable FRF is the responsibility of management. बिल्कुल ठीक बात. All right. Which of the following is correct in regard to disclosure of such management responsibility? Okay, this is implied responsibility of management. It is presumed in an audit and therefore need not to be mentioned anywhere. No, this is wrong. Responsibility of management is there in terms of engagement SA 210. It is there in audit report SA 700. There is a specific section of audit report management responsibility. So this is wrong. The management may undertake to accept such responsibility through the engagement letter itself. It is a fundamental responsibility. But okay, let's read first. The auditor report should describe the management responsibility in a section, okay, with heading responsibility of management for the financial statement. Yeah. Disclosure of such management responsibility, it is there. The auditor's report should refer to the responsibilities of auditor and not that of management. This is wrong. So this is wrong itself. This is like, you know, this is wrong, not mentioned, and this is also not apt. So C is the most appropriate option, because in auditor's report SA 700 there is a clear cut mention. So disclosure is to be made in auditor's report also. I hope that is okay. Ma'am, why this B is wrong? See, management may undertake, what does that mean? That is wrong. Through the engagement letter, it is their fundamental responsibility. They may or may not. It's not the case. ऐसा नहीं है कि वैसा कर सकते हैं या नहीं कर सकते हैं. Okay, 10.5 then. It says if the auditor of Delco Limited decides to give the qualified or endorsed opinion in the current financial year with respect to non-consolidation, right? Which of the following is true with regard to the use of EOM paragraph for some other matter? Some other. Listen carefully. मैंने तुमको कितना डिटेल में ये EOM पढ़ाया हुआ है, ठीक है. 2 बार सुनो इस बात को. EOM, जिस बारे में EOM है उस बारे में हमारी ओपिनियन क्वालिफाइड या एडवर्स या मॉडिफाइड नहीं होगी. If EOM is regarding one aspect, regarding that aspect, our opinion is not modified. Our opinion may be modified with respect to other aspect, and EOM can be with respect to such matter which is properly disclosed by management in its notes to accounts. EOM is with respect to such matter where there is compliance with FRF, because with regard to non-compliances तो हम modified opinion express करते हैं. The auditor cannot add EOM in his report or any matter as a qualified opinion is given by the auditor. Okay, let's read all. EOM paragraph on a matter can be added if auditor's opinion is neither qualified nor adverse in respect to that particular matter and the matter is fundamental to the user's understanding. बिल्कुल ठीक बात. Exactly, this is the thing. आप regarding consolidation, your opinion is qualified, but maybe with respect to, say for example, some accounting policy, maybe with respect to some accounting policy which is properly disclosed but which is very fundamental, you may include EOM. So सेम मैटर के बारे में EOM और सेम मैटर के बारे में मॉडिफाइड ओपिनियन नहीं जाता. ओके, with regard to EOM is regard to those matters जो मैनेजमेंट ने बिल्कुल ठीक दिखाए हैं और उस बारे में हमारी ओपिनियन क्वालिफाइड या मॉडिफाइड नहीं है. हमने बहुत अच्छे से इसको 705 के साथ पढ़ा था 706 में, SA 706. ओके, EOM on any matter can be added in auditor's report even if the auditor with respect to that particular matter. No, this is wrong. It indicates that opinion is modified. No, this is wrong. EOM means auditor's opinion is not modified in this respect. It is clearly written. Please check SA 706. We have made notes in the class. Plus, we have made a number of examples and it is written in the draft that my opinion is not modified in this respect. So, in the example, it is clearly written. So, best option is B. Which SA? SA 706 is the answer. I hope that is okay. Okay, good. Now this was 10.5 and now we are coming to 10.6. If the management discloses the fact of non-consolidation, they are disclosing that okay, we are not consolidating the financial statement of Soccer Limited because we are not able to identify the fair values of certain things. Okay, to the notes, what will be the impact on the audit report? But this is not excuse. Even if listen, even if management discloses that we are not consolidating, there is still non-compliance with FRF. Management cannot say that I'm not complying with this, I'm not complying with this, I'm not complying with this. Still, I need to express a modified opinion. The disclosure is a responsibility. As such, it will not impact. The disclosure is the responsibility of the management. As such, it will not impact the auditor's opinion in present case. बिल्कुल ठीक बात. Exactly. Even though management is disclosing that we are not consolidating, there is non-compliance with FRF, they should have consolidated. उनको ये consolidation करना चाहिए था. बट अगर वो कंसोलिडेशन नहीं कर रहे हैं, सो mere disclosure, only disclosure would not suffice the purpose. You need to either express a qualified opinion or adverse opinion as required, depending upon materiality and pervasiveness. So this is quite okay because there is still non-compliance. The auditor can ignore the issue of non-consolidation. No. Why should I ignore? Okay. The auditor should give an unmodified opinion. Wrong. They cannot give an adverse or qualified opinion in this case. Wrong. Why? Because there is non-compliance with FRF. So obviously you will need to. I hope that is okay. So listen, this is one excellent, I'm telling you, this is one excellent case scenario. And most of the questions are like, standard based. Variety of standards are there. Okay, so many standards. Now, so there is no reason, you see, the only correct option is ticked. And that is why, इसीलिए मैं इसको आपको क्लास में करा रही हूँ कि आपको with reason समझ में आए. You are able to understand why this particular option is right. Okay, you should be able to understand this thing. Listen carefully. This you can do at your own. This is very simple, inventory and all. But still, even if I'll see in the next class also. Okay, now we are coming on, say for example, okay, let's start with 13th. M Limited, I'm picking up anyone, which I think that, okay, you should know the exact reasons to start with. An unlisted company, okay, in South Asia, India is engaged in the business of spice oil extraction. The total paid up capital of the company is 9 crores. Paid up capital is 9 crore. Detail of annual turnover and profit of the company for the last 3 years are given below. Okay, turnover this. Okay, profit or loss, done. The company is using conventional method for extraction of oil from spices. Okay, this require more human intervention and hence cost of production is high as compared to innovative method used by other new companies. जैसे oil from spices, जैसे सरसों में से oil या कुछ इस तरह की चीज हो गई, you know, like mustard oil or something. So they are using with the human beings. Okay, they are working with the human beings. Though the company had significant growth in the past year, it has not done well over the last 2 financial years due to competition. A new competitor with Natural Extracts Limited had come in the market during the year 2018, and by the end they have captured around 75% of the market share. Oh, that is the reason. Offering the product at a reduced price. So competition is there. If the competition is there, entry of a competitor और उसकी वजह से आपके profits कम हो रहे हैं. Okay, they use new machinery which allows whole range of automated extraction methods, thus minimizing manual steps and reducing the cost of labor. तो उनका costing कम जा रहा है काफी. In order to reduce cost of production, they thereby recapture the market because they have lost significant market. 75% of market had gone to competitor. The management of M Limited had planned to erect a new plant with an automatic machine. Okay, the estimated cost of plant and machinery is 90 lakhs. The company approached bank for a term loan of 80 lakhs which would be repaid in 5 years. In 2019 December, the bank had sanctioned the loan and disbursed 40 lakhs. Okay, so 40 lakhs have been disbursed. M Limited has appointed Messrs Check and Check chartered accountants and as auditors of the company at its AGM. Okay, for a period of 5 years. See, this is apt for a period of 5 years. Okay, as agreed, the audit team commenced their audit work for the year in February and completed the work by the end of May. The audit team submitted following findings to the engagement partner. Engagement partner who is going to sign might be PX Limited, one of the material suppliers, filed a case against the company. Okay. During the year for a compensation of 3 crores. So there is a pending case. Okay, all right. Company has made an estimate for allowance of debtors at the rate 5%. Okay, so this is accounting estimate again. 70% of value of inventory was only covered in the physical verification during the year due to outbreak of COVID and subsequent lockdown thereof. It could be possible. It is covered in COVID guidelines actually. Okay, company got a show cause notice from State Pollution Control Board for the contravention of the provision of hazardous and waste management rule. Oh my god. So show cause notice. So there is regulatory notice also. Okay, I think there are certain indicators on going concern as well. 3 incidences of fraud notice. Fraud committed by purchase manager 85, accounts manager 15, by a cashier 2 lakhs. But individually none is of 1 crore. Okay. Now answer the following question. First, though the company had significant growth in the past year, it had not done well. As per 570 going concern. Okay, going concern. There are certain events or conditions that individually may cast significant doubt about the going concern assumption. In order to assess whether M Limited is a going concern or not, which are the following? You have to assess. Following procedure should not be performed. तो आपको ढूंढना है कौन सी बात 570 में नहीं आ रही है. Which of the point is not there in SA 570? Which is not to be performed. Okay. Analyze and discuss with the management. ये तो हम करते हैं. Forecast, their plans. We need to discuss about the mitigators also. Inquire the company's legal counsel regarding existence of legal litigation and claim. This also we do. Okay, let's read all the things first. Evaluating management future plan and strategy. 110%. We need to consider their future plans also. All right. But analyze and discuss the company's cash flow and profit of previous years with the projected accounts. Why the previous year ones? ये तो हम एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर्स में मेनली करते हैं ना. लास्ट ईयर्स वालों को प्रोजेक्टेड वालों से कंपेयर करके कोई फायदा नहीं होगा गोइंग कंसर्न के लिए. सो दिस इज गिवन इन 570, दिस इज गिवन इन 570, दिस इज गिवन इन 570, बट दिस इज नॉट गिवन इन 570 एंड हेंस this is the correct option. This is not to be performed. This is kind of analytical procedures. In analytical procedures में हम करते थे ना कि पास्ट में जो चीज हुई है उनकी प्रोजेक्शन से कंपेयर करो कि उनकी प्रोजेक्शंस ठीक होती थी या नहीं. सो पास्ट ईयर्स वालाज आर नॉट टू बी लाइक कंपेयर्ड. दिस इज नॉट गिवन इन 570. However, these three are given in 570. In additional procedures, in the book, in additional audit procedures, when events are identified, all 3 points are given, but this is not there. Okay? आप देखो कितना कुछ आपको ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. But these are the examples given in book, perfectly we covered it during our classes. Company has made an estimate. Yes, estimate 540, accounting estimate. Debtors at the rate 5%. Some financial statement item cannot be measured precisely but can only be estimated. Correct. The nature and reliability of information available to management to support the making of an accounting estimate varies widely, which thereby affect the degree of estimation uncertainty. कुछ एस्टिमेट में अनसर्टेनिटी ज्यादा होती है, कुछ एस्टिमेट में अनसर्टेनिटी कम होती है. ओके. Please advise which among the following may have higher uncertainty and higher risk. Now you have to apply a professional judgment. Whatever you have learned during classes, whatever you do in your practical training, you have to apply your judgment. Where there is higher risk. It says judgment about the outcome of pending litigation with PX Limited. बिल्कुल 100% sure there is higher risk. Why there is higher risk? Because this is a case. The outcome no one can anticipate at all. There is a case for around 3 crore rupees. No one can say whether the company will win or lose. Everything depends upon the future course of action to be decided by court. And sometimes ये cases बहुत long duration चलते रहते हैं. Anyways, estimates made for inventory obsolescence that are frequently made and updated. So inventory तो कितनी खराब हो रही है कितनी नहीं, every year ये लोग करते हैं. इसमें इतना रिस्क नहीं होता. They have passed to project the things. जैसे लास्ट ईयर में ऑब्सोलीट हुई थी उसी ट्रेंड के हिसाब से आगे होगी. So this is not that much unpredictable. Okay, a model use. Model मतलब mathematical model. To measure the accounting estimate is well known and the assumptions are in marketplace. No, there is also not such a risk. If there is a model ki, okay, say for example warranty claims, and based upon the past, based upon the market expectations, warranty claims कितना परसेंट देना पड़ता है इन लोग को पता है, तो इसमें इतना खतरा नहीं है. बट ये तो बिल्कुल एक अलग ही, एक अनोखा, एक नॉवल सा, एक अलग केस हो गया ना. No one can estimate. Okay, accounting estimate made for allowance or doubtful debts where the result of the auditor review of similar accounting estimate made in the prior period do not indicate any difference. Even here there is less risk because even in past there were no significant differences. But here this is an important case. This is a case filed for first time for 3 crores. No one can anticipate. You can at least, you can at the most, you can say obtain legal expert opinion, but even he cannot be 100% sure. So there is high risk, highest risk here out of all these examples. Okay, great. Now 13.3. The company in the notes accompanying its financial statement disclose. Please listen carefully. Don't hurry. If such MCQ comes for 10 to 15 marks, please read carefully. Please read between the lines. Only then you can fetch good marks. Otherwise, not possible. Please don't hurry. Okay. The company in the notes accompanying its financial statement, sometimes what students do, okay, read only the last line and that's it. Come on, just by reading the last line, you won't be able to understand what is written over here, in which context they are asking the question. You can increase your speed. Like, I can increase my speed. If I'm not, अगर मुझे बोलना नहीं हो ना, if I'm not required to speak in the class, तो ठीक है, I can read very quickly. Like, the company in the notes accompanying its financial statement disclose the existence of SWIFT file against the company with full details, because based on the audit evidence obtained, it is necessary to draw users' attention to the matter presented. But please, I need to explain. That is why I'm taking more time in reading. Okay? In the financial statement, by way of clear additional communication, draw users' attention. Okay, and the company has disclosed in the notes, as there is uncertainty relating to future outcome of the litigation. Yes, which is the following reporting option would be correct if the auditor is satisfied with the conclusions reached by the management. This matter is fundamental. He is satisfied, conclusions reached by the management. So मैनेजमेंट ने नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स में इस बात को लिखा है, अप्रोप्रिएटली लिखा है. यू वांट टू ड्रॉ यूजर्स अटेंशन, EOM. Simple. SA 706. Include. It says include EOM having a clear reference to matter being emphasized and issue a qualified. No. Why qualified? इस मैटर के बारे में ओपिनियन मॉडिफाइड नहीं जाएगी. ओके, इंक्लूड इन बेसिस फॉर एडवर्स ओपिनियन. व्हाई? बेसिस फॉर डिस्क्लेमर. व्हाई? मैनेजमेंट हैज अप्रोप्रिएटली डेल्ट विद द सेम. EOM in the auditor's report having a clear reference to the matter and where relevant disclosure. So you have to please, if you are not able to recall SA 706, read book again or watch the class on 706 again. We have strictly the example is given in the book. Our opinion is not modified in this respect as disclosed by management in notes to accounts number this. Exactly where it can be found. That is the reason 706. So I hope with reason the concept is clear. Okay. Company got a show cause notice from a state pollution control board, right? As per SA 250, okay, laws and regulations, the auditor shall perform the audit procedures to help identify instances of non-compliance with other laws and regulations that may have material effect. As the audit team became aware of the this is tricky, I'm telling you. Became aware, आपको पता चल गया, you knew about it, about the case concerning an instance of non-compliance. What would not be the audit procedure to be performed? You have already known about this thing, that okay, there is a case or there is a show cause notice in this particular item which is not to be performed. So when you have known about such thing, now what is to be done? Listen, understand the nature of act and circumstances in which it has occurred and obtain further information to evaluate the possible effect of the financial statement. This you will do. We need to do it in SA 250. बिकॉज नाउ वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि ये जो शो कॉज नोटिस आया है इसका फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट पे क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, क्या इसमें फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स में कोई प्रोविजन बनाने की जरूरत है या नहीं है इन द रिपोर्टिंग, बिफोर रिपोर्टिंग. ओके, discuss the matter with management if they do not provide sufficient information. If the effect of non-compliance seems to be material, legal advice may be obtained. बिल्कुल, we need to it is written in 250 that you need to do that. Monitoring legal requirement in compliance with code of conduct and ensuring that operating procedures are designed to assist in the prevention of non-compliance with the law and regulation and report record. Oh, come on. This is not after knowing. When you monitor the legal, see, you are not required to monitor all the legal requirements and compliances. You need to obtain information. You need to obtain a list of regulatory framework there. You remember? Okay. Now, evaluate the implication of non-compliance, including risk assessment and reliability of written. Yes, it is very much written in 250. अगर मैनेजमेंट ने कोई बात है जहाँ पे कुछ गड़बड़ है तो आप उनकी रिलायबिलिटी को दोबारा चेक करोगे. Might be possible that written representations are not that reliable in this case. Okay, so what is not? This is not the audit procedure. This is not the audit procedure. You have come to know about this thing. So whatever is written in SA 250, you will do that. This is written, this is written, this is written, but this is not required. Okay. See, you have to be very sure whether they are asking what is written or they are asking what is not written. The company had availed some amount of loan. Okay. Oh, the company has availed. Okay, I need to. Okay. The company had availed some amount of loan for new plant and machinery during the year under audit. Out of total loan sanctioned, an amount of 25 lakhs was earmarked for the purchase of machinery, oil extractor. मतलब स्पाइसेस में से ऑयल एक्सट्रैक्ट करने के लिए. बट द कंपनी हैज एक्वायर्ड एन इम्प्रूव्ड मॉडल ऑफ मशीनरी, ऑयल एक्सट्रैक्टर विद ड्रायर इंस्टेड. ऑयल भी एक्सट्रैक्ट हो जाएगा और जो रिमेनिंग चीजें बचेंगी वो ड्राई भी हो जाएगी. State which of the reporting option would be correct, but more or less for the same purpose. Now the purpose is same. The purpose is same. That is for machinery. Doesn't matter which of the model of machinery. State the fact of Caro that out of the term loan taken for machinery oil extractor, they were not utilized. No, this is wrong. They were utilized. Ask the management to change terms and condition of term loan as a company has. No. This is wrong. State that term loan taken has been applied for the purpose. Yes, it doesn't make any sense कि आपने कि अगर कंपनी ने कोई बेटर वर्जन ऑफ मशीनरी खरीदा है तो आप लिखोगे इट इज नॉट अप्लाइड. इट इज अप्लाइड फॉर द सेम पर्पस. You know, the model of machinery can be different like this, but it has been purchased only for machinery. So yes, state that it has not been applied for the purpose. That is wrong. No qualify. आई होप दैट इज ओके. क्यों? क्योंकि उन्होंने सिमिलर पर्पस के लिए, पर्पस तो सेम है ना, दैट इज द रीजन. ओके, सो आई थिंक दिस 13th इज प्रिटी ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम्स एट ऑल. ओके, एंड नाउ वी आर कमिंग टू so SLR disqualified, purchase of how many shares for what. So 14th you can try at your own. You see, please, 14th you can try at your own. Now we are coming to 15th. Messrs QS and Associates, Chartered Accountant at Chennai-based audit firm, has taken up the following assignments: to conduct management audit, to conduct operational audit of SI Limited. Okay. A statutory audit of Messrs I General Insurance Company. The company has a paid up share capital of 15,000 lakhs. Oh my God. Which includes preliminary expenses of 3,400 lakhs. During the course of audit of the company, there was difference of opinion between the auditor and the management with respect to the minimum amount of solvency margin. Oh, solvency margin. On the first page of the book, minimum capital we have done in the class, section number 6. In the case of insurance companies, like there are slabs, okay, so 100 crore capital, and in solvency margin, the solvency margin is 50% of minimum capital as given. I have dictated the numericals also in the class. Okay, so basically that ways. However, the issue was later settled. Okay, the auditor of a listed company had resigned due to his personal reason. The board of directors had appointed Messrs QS and Associated replacement within 30 days. Okay, the firm also accepted the assignment without communicating about the same to the previous auditor. So wrong. What we have done in Code of Ethics under clause 8 of part 1 of schedule, communication is a must, and in revised Code of Ethics, communication by hand against acknowledgement by RPAD on official email ID on the details as per UDIN portal. Okay, at a later point, certain shareholders of the firm opposed the appointment, but the issue was solved. Let's see. A statutory auditor of Messrs FGH Private Limited Company having paid up capital of 112 and negative balance of 15 lakhs. After a long discussion between the auditor and management of the company with respect to applicability of Caro, both of them arrived. Caro. Okay, as far as applicability of Caro is concerned, so there is paid up capital and reserves. We say paid up capital 112, but if there is negative balance of reserve, that is to be deducted. So it comes to 97, I think, 0.97 CR. It is well within the limit, right? So Caro is not applicable, I think, on this. Caro is not applicable. Okay, if applicability of Caro is the point. Let's see. It says, because even when we people were doing Caro, we have clearly written, it is written in the summary itself that negative balance is to be reduced. Okay, what is the minimum solvency margin that has to be maintained? So solvency margin is 50% of minimum capital, 50% of minimum capital as per section 6, and there it is written the minimum capital is 100 crores, 100 crores 50%, that is 50 crores. We have done it very well in our class. Okay, what could be the possible reason for the objection raised by shareholders? See, the auditor has resigned. Okay, appointment of incoming auditor should have been approved by the members within 60 days. 139 subsection 8, when casual vacancy is in a non-government company and if it is due to resignation, so it is to be filled by board of directors and then it is to be approved by members in general meeting, in a properly convened general meeting within 3 months. You remember? So why it is so? The reason is 139 subsection 8. 3 months. You need to remember this thing, otherwise आप इसको कर नहीं पाओगे. I hope reason is pretty okay. The reason is 139 subsection 8. Looking at the above appointment, what is the appropriate inference which you can make about the professional ethics of Messrs QS and Associates? So QS and Associates without communicating. Okay. Now listen. They are, see, आप लोग पूछते हो कि क्लॉज नंबर और शेड्यूल नंबर, पार्ट नंबर याद करे कि नहीं करे. Now you have answer to this query. They are guilty of professional misconduct as per clause 7 of no, grossly negligent no. They are guilty as per clause 8 of part 1 of first schedule due to non-communication. It appears to be the right option. मैं सेम टेक्निक यूज कर रही हूँ जो हम क्लासेस में यूज करते हैं, प्लीज. ओके, कि या तो पहले उसको हटा दो, जो चीजों को आप एलिमिनेट कर सकते हो, या मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट को टिक करो एंड ऑल. दे आर गिल्टी ऑफ प्रोफेशनल मिसकंडक्ट एज पर क्लॉज नंबर 8 ऑफ पार्ट 1 ऑफ सेकंड. नो, सेकंड शेड्यूल क्लॉज 8, इट्स नॉट अबाउट. No, non-communication. Okay, so non-communication is in first schedule. We have made mnemonic also. Right? They are not guilty. Wrong. So correct option is B. Next, it is 15.4. Whether Caro is applicable, if so, why? First of all, no. It is not applicable to any private limited company. This is wrong. Yes, since the paid up capital exceeds this much. No, this is wrong. Yes, since the paid up capital and reserves exceed. No. Since the total of paid up capital and reserves does not exceed 1 crore. Why? Please tell me. Because it was 112. So it is like 1.12 minus negative balance is to be reduced 0.15. So this is well within 1 crore. Okay, provided all other conditions are also not exceeded. So I think that is okay. I hope अब आपको रीजन भी क्लियर होएगा ना कि क्या है एग्जैक्टली रीजन, है ना. सो रीजन इज एप्लीकेबिलिटी ऑफ कारो, जो हमने केसेस किए हुए हैं उसी पर से आया है. ओके, डन. नाउ ओके, सम ऑफ द केस स्टडीज मैं आपको नेक्स्ट वाले क्लास में करा दूंगी इसकी. कुछ केस स्टडीज हम लोग नेक्स्ट में कर लेंगे. अभी हम कौन सी करें? आई हैव मार्क्ड आई गेस 20th. आई हैव थॉट कुछ आप कर सकते हो. सम ऑफ द केस स्टडीज आई विल डू इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास. इंटरनल ऑडिटर वाला थिंग इज वेरी सिंपल. 19th is very simple actually. 20th. Shivam and Company LLP is a large firm of chartered accountants based out of Delhi NCR. The firm has 6 offices in India: Delhi, Noida, Bangalore, Calcutta, Chennai and Chandigarh. Okay. The firm has 35 partners across various offices. Actually मैं variety of chapters के cover करना चाह रही हूँ. Professional ethics हो गया, Companies Act हो गया आपके पास में, आपके पास standards के हो गए कई सारे basically ऐसे लेकर. अभी देखते हैं ये कौन से topic के ऊपर आ रहा है. The firm is offering various services. आपने टैक्स ऑडिट का, टैक्स ऑडिट रिपोर्ट के रिविजन का, फॉर्म 3CD का भी कुछ कर लिया अभी के क्लास में ना. Now let's concentrate on this one. The firm is offering various services to its client and has accordingly set up separate departments for those services which are headed by the partners. Okay. सो सेपरेट जैसे होता ही है किसी भी फर्म के अंदर. दिस इज टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट और दिस पार्टनर इज हेडिंग द स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिट, दिस पार्टनर इज हेडिंग मर्जर्स एंड एक्विजिशन, मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टेंसी और समथिंग लाइक दैट. The firm's client is both listed and unlisted companies. Okay, whom services include statutory audit, internal audit, risk advisory, due diligence and tax support also. The firm also has a managing partner who sits in Chandigarh office. All in all, one can say it is all solution firm as far as services are concerned. So they are basically, their clients are like listed companies also they are auditing. Okay, the firm focuses significantly on its quality and accordingly has set up various controls in place. The firm ensures that engagement of each partner are reviewed in terms of quality of work. Yeah, standard on quality control. Okay, for this purpose, firm has set up a process and 1 or 2 engagement files of partner is selected. Quality assessments also carries weight in terms of assessment of profit sharing of the partners. कि ठीक है उन लोगों ने quality maintain करते हुए work किया या नहीं. The firm has been subjected to okay peer review. I have told you one thing also. In November 2020, there was such case scenario on peer review as well, okay, which was last conducted 3 years back during the financial year. So you cannot leave any chapter. During the financial year ended 31st March 2020, the firm got an intimation for the peer review, okay, with which it was before time considering the review was done only 3 years back and was not due. Why not due? If you are the auditor of listed company, a big firm, then obviously you are in level 1 entity. Okay, but the authorities did not change their stand. The process of review got started on 1st August and completed on 15th September. Quite okay, which included the on-site review. Okay, so it was like within 90 days they should complete, which included the on-site review from 1st August to 20th. Oh, on-site review was conducted for 20 days. This is wrong. On-site review should not take that much long. Since the firm was not happy with the selection of engagement for review by the peer reviewer and also faced some problem during the peer review, it also consulted another firm, Shubham and Associates. One of the engagement of Shubham and Associates was picked up, okay, for quality review by Quality Review Board. So this firm's friend's firm was selected for quality review. Actually उनकी firm का एक जो client था उनका एक assignment quality review के लिए. So we have done the difference between the peer review and quality review properly. मैंने आपको जब quality review का report भी कराया था तो भी we have done the difference as such. Also face various challenges. Okay, considering the aforementioned facts, Shivam and Company LLP submitted a list of its assurance and due diligence services. Peer reviewer may select any sample out of assurance engagement. Hello, due diligence engagements तो आते ही नहीं है ना engagements में. Do you remember? In the peer review, certain चीजें assurance engagements में नहीं आती हैं. So due diligence doesn't fall under assurance engagements for the purpose of conducting the peer review. Due diligence engagements won't be. We have made a mnemonic also in the class. Okay. Peer reviewer may select any sample out of assurance engagement, right? He may select any sample out of due diligence, wrong, due diligence, wrong, may select any engagement on a piecemeal basis covering any service assurance or due diligence, wrong. Due diligence won't be covered. Just like tax consultancy, tax expert, witness, those won't be covered. Same ways, due diligence, accounting, not be covered. In assurance, few services are not to be covered in assurance. We have made a mnemonic also. So this is on peer review. The concern of Shivam and Company Limited regarding its selection of peer review arose because it assessed itself as level 2 entity, which was different from assessment by peer review board. No, it's not a level 2 entity. Why? Because it has been auditor of listed company. अगर आप लिस्टेड कंपनीज का ऑडिट कर रहे हो तो आप लेवल 2 कैसे हो सकते हो? यू आर लेवल 1 कंपनी, level 1 entity, level 1 entity. The firm should be level 1 based on criteria of level 1 and 2 given by ICI regarding applicability of accounting standard. No. Regarding applicability of accounting standard nahi. Regarding what kind of audits or what kind of engagements you are doing. We have made like level 1, level 2. Okay, the firm should be level 2 based on criteria. This is wrong. It should be level 2, wrong. The firm should be level 1 based on its engagements or services. Yes, it is a level 1 entity. It had been the statutory auditor of listed companies. Got it? Okay. Reason is okay na? Reason is clear na? Why level 1? Okay. Now 20.3. It says, so the correct answer is C. Now it says Shivam and Company LLP also objected to the time taken by peer reviewer on site. However, as per peer reviewer, the entire review process got completed within 90 days. That is right. The time for on-site review should not have extended. Now your theoretical part should also be very clear, you see. If you are not able to, like, there is no like 10 to 20, 120, 60. So on site is like from 7 to 15 working days. I hope that is okay. This is very well written in the books also. We have done it in class as well. The peer reviewer did not share any of his observation with Shivam and Company. This is wrong. And only the final report was submitted. See, peer review is a friendly process. So when the peer review user friendly, you can say if there is a preliminary report, then obviously that reply would be demanded. All right, there should be discussion on the findings as well. So I think this is wrong. You should have shared your findings with them. So peer review need not share any draft. Okay, even the final report is not required to be submitted. Peer review needs to share draft report. Yes, there are no reports in the case. Oh, very good. There are reports. Okay, so they need to share. Now they need to discuss also. 20.5. In the case of Shubham and Associates, quality reviewers. Okay, quality review हुआ था इनका. The reviewer raised an observation that one of the audit team member, okay, signed the independence confirmation dated 1st August when the audit report was signed on 1st August. You should remember this thing. I have specified this thing specifically that independence is something which must be reviewed at the time of. So independence should be ensured at time of acceptance and before reporting also. If you are not independent, you should not accept, you should not express opinion. So ऐसा कैसे same day की report और same day आप independence का declaration sign कर रहे हो? This is a fault actually. इसका मतलब quality control अच्छे नहीं है. रिपोर्ट से बहुत पहले ही आपको रिव्यू कर लेना चाहिए था. This was objection by Shubham and Associates because auditing completed the documentation. Observation of reviewer was correct. बिल्कुल ठीक. It was not correct. Wrong. Observation was correct, but only one audit member has not complied. Then it should have been dropped. No, there is no. प्लीज अगर एक ने किया हो ऐसा गड़बड़ या 2 या 3 पार्टनर्स ने किया हो ऐसा गड़बड़, doesn't make any difference. That means their quality controls are not apt. Okay, observation was not correct and also the fact it involves only one. So ये दोनों तो एक सी चीजें ही हो गई. So observation of reviewer was correct. It is मतलब ये एक अलग से भी ऑप्शन हमें दिखाई दे रहा है. बिल्कुल ठीक बात है. ऐसे कैसे सेम डे यू आर सबमिटिंग द रिपोर्ट एंड सेम डे यू आर साइनिंग द डिक्लेरेशन कि हाँ ठीक है हम इंडिपेंडेंट है. यू शुड हैव रिव्यूड इट मच बिफोर. Reasons are okay. Okay, see, out of assurance engagement, why? Because due diligence is not covered in this. I hope you are okay with this. Okay, so आज का क्लास है ही बेसिकली इसलिए ताकि आपको ये why वाला कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़ते पढ़ते कैसे हमारे माइंड में चैप्टर्स आना चाहिए ये सब समझ में आ सके. Okay, you should be able to do that. Now, this is very simple actually. Remuneration and this and that. This is totally on statutory audits of banks. Now, okay, I have marked that 24th one, na? So, just come to 24th. Few you can try at your own. Although I am going to pick up few very good in another class as well. 24th. Messrs. IM and Company Chartered Accountant is a newly started firm. Okay. Their first assignment was to conduct statutory audit of Messrs. CD Crackers Limited, a cracker manufacturing company. Since it was their first audit, the partners immediately accepted the work without paying attention to relevant procedures. फटाफट से काम accept कर लिया. चलो चलो चलो. Okay, there is a work. They started their audit work from 25th May for the financial years. The previous year ended 31st March. Oh, during the course of audit, मतलब much later. During the course of audit, the auditor requested for the financials of preceding previous year along with the details of transaction till 25th May. The management argued that both the details are out of the scope of the audit. No, you have to demand. How can they say so? However, after repeated requests, they finally provided in September. This is wrong. Means there is no proper cooperation from management side. It was suspected that senior accountant suspicion in a fraud amounting to, oh my god, that means 1.17 crores. However, on further investigation by management, it was found that there was a gross mistake on part of accountant who had wrongly debited and credited certain accounts by mistake, which amounted to 18 lakh rupees only. The company provided proper and correct evidence for the balance amount, hence the auditors were strongly convinced that no fraud has taken place. Come on, if there is a fraud and you have proper reasons, तो आपने 2 दिन में पहले उन लोग को बताया, उन लोग की replies आए, then if the amount is expected to exceed the threshold limit, और इस केस के अंदर जाहिर सी बात वो 1 crore exceeding वाला point लग रहा है, तो इस particular case में you should have reported the thing to central government. Okay, due to absence of an audit committee, the auditor suggested to the director of finance to replace the existing accountant as he was very poor. This existing accountant can be only the shield. You see, it could be that management or the directors are culprits. Initially, the company thought of handling over the tax audit work to the previous auditor. However, since they had bad experience, the company had bad experience. क्योंकि पुराना ऑडिटर बार बार उनसे इंफॉर्मेशन मांग रहा होगा. In the form of an argument, especially with respect to disclosure of key ratios, which is required under Form 3CD, it was decided that IM and company shall also act as a tax auditor, and they became happy that okay, now we are getting tax audit also. After the conclusion of the audit, Mr. I, one of the partners of the firm, was confused as to whether the firm could be held guilty of professional misconduct 100%. You didn't communicate with the previous auditor. You immediately accepted the work. Then regarding this fraud also, okay, you would have adopted independence. You would have applied your independence. Cannot rely on the management as such. He contacted Mr. M, his partner, to get clarified about doubt. Messrs. Harp-P Limited, a recruitment agency, contacted Mr. I regarding a vacancy in one of the leading manufacturing company. Eventually, Mr. I resigned as a partner of IMN company and joined the company. The agency raised an invoice. Okay, so now he's taking up employment. The agency raised an invoice for the services rendered by them, which amounted to 0.2% of the cost to company offered. Oh my God. You are in a job, you are a chartered accountant in job now, and you are paying a share of your salary to someone. This is wrong. This is wrong in first schedule. First schedule CA employees जो हैं, first schedule part 2, उसका clause 1 and clause 2, payments and receipts, even for employee chartered accountants, even for chartered accountants who are in job, that is wrong. I agreed to pay the amount. However, since his friend was manager at the agency, he received full discount on the invoice. Wow, that's great. But even if you agree to pay the amount, which is basically a share of your salary, that means you haven't received this offer due to your own competence, right? So that is wrong. You cannot pay any share in the amounts of the amount received as the compensation from your employer. Agreed by the act of resignation, Mr. M filed a complaint with the institute stating that Mr. I had violated the provisions. Angered by the act. Angered मतलब उनको गुस्सा आ गया. Now, and is guilty of professional misconduct. Having come to know that Mr. M was the one who had filed the complaint, Mr. I decided to take revenge. मैं भी बदला लेता हूँ. While thinking for a suitable reason to file a complaint, he recalled the fact. फिर उसने सारी बातें सोची. That Mr. M was engaged as a registration authority for obtaining digital signature for his clients. That is okay. Even 10FC also you can establish, okay? And for digital signature, that is okay. Quoting the same, he filed a complaint against Mr. M. CA से एक दूसरे के enemies बन गए अभी यहाँ. Now, stating that he was guilty of misconduct for violating the provisions of the Chartered Accountants Act. Okay, the whole scenario is clear. Now, whatever I have underlined, you can just go through again. What can you inform from the situation given in point number 1? Point number 1, when he demanded last year's information and the transactions up to the date when he started. Okay, management was right, both the details were out of their scope. Wrong. The auditor has the right to ask only the details of preceding previous year and not the details of transaction. Wrong. Auditor can demand any information which is required for his procedures. Otherwise, वो कैसे audit करेगा? Okay, both the auditors and management have the right to ask both the details and right to not provide. Oh, the auditors have the right to ask both the details. Okay, so D is a correct option. The management contention that it is out of his scope is wrong. बिल्कुल सही बात. Auditor should have, even, you know, these things are written under section 143 of the Companies Act also. Auditor can, you know, auditor has right to demand, and it is the company's duty to provide him the information. Okay. Is Messrs. IMN Company guilty of professional misconduct for violating any of the provisions of Chartered Accountant Act? Okay, Messrs. IMN Company, that means both, when both were together, okay, they did not communicate. Now please tell me, it says clause 1 of part 1 of second schedule, that is regarding confidentiality, so this is not right. Clause 8 of part 1, clause 8 part 1 first schedule, 100% sure, did not communicate. Reason is okay. Clause 2 part 2 second schedule, why? This is not okay. No, the firm has not violated. So this is wrong. So the correct is this. What is the reason? क्यों? ऐसे तो आप टिक नहीं लगाओगे ना. क्यों रीजन? क्योंकि उन्होंने कम्युनिकेट नहीं किया था. उन्होंने फटाफट से बस काम एक्सेप्ट कर लिया था. Is Mr. I guilty of professional misconduct? If so, under what clause? Mr. I has taken up appointment as employee. So he's an employee in CA in service, and CA in service agreed to pay. You remember, he agreed to pay a percentage, okay, a share you can say. So on employees, part 1 is not applicable, part 1 of first schedule is not. So basically it is which one? Clause 1 of part 1 of first schedule. No, clause to pay or receive. You remember? Okay, so it says basically Mr. I is not guilty. Mr. I is not guilty. So that is again, no. Just a second. Not the B part, rather the D part. Clause 1 of part 2 of first schedule, not the second schedule thing. Okay, so basically clause 1 of part 2 of first schedule, because this is applicable on CA in service, and first schedules part 2 and clause 1 is on payment. Okay, is Mr. M guilty of professional misconduct? If so, under what clause? Now please tell me, Mr. M क्यों guilty है या क्यों guilty नहीं है? You see, I hope you people are okay with this particular point that Mr. M won't be guilty. Why? Because आप digital signatures के लिए ये काम कर सकते हो, ये आपने काउंसिल डिसीजंस में भी पढ़ा हुआ है अच्छे से. सो यस, नो, मिस्टर एम इज नॉट गिल्टी ऑफ प्रोफेशनल मिसकंडक्ट. I hope that is okay. So reason is quite okay na, because that is allowed for obtaining digital signatures. You can work as intermediary and all. So please now listen carefully. We have done a number of case scenarios. This is my sincere request to you. Like today, what we have done, I think here we have done 2nd, 6th, 8th, 10th, 13th, 15th. This is 24. One more we have done. I think that was 20th. Okay. So please, at least few of them you should try at your own. Like by now you must have completed everything, you must have revised everything. Some of them you can at least try at your own. You should try to think about the reasons. जैसे मैंने आपको reasons बताया ना, ये क्यों नहीं, at least थोड़े से reasons सोचने की कोशिश करो. Answers तो आपको दिए ही हैं. Is that okay? Okay, so few of them we will be doing in the next part. Thank you so much.